Hello. Am I audible, Anita ji?
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Good evening, everyone. All the chartered accountants and esteemed members of the ICI who are viewing this very, very important webcast, either live on the webcast or on the YouTube. And as I am aware, they are spread across many, many countries. It's a really privilege to moderate the sessions of today and give the opening remarks in this very, very thoughtfully designed event under the aegis of Committee of Members in Entrepreneurship and Public Service. And our sincere and deep gratitude to this committee chairman, C. Ansraj Chuk sir, vice chairman, C. Dhiraj Khandelwal sir, and all the organizers. Friends, it's great to note that this particular Entrepreneur Week, it is designed a 5 days continuous events, one of its kind event, and which is themed on the out of the cubicle into the fire. So we CAs need not to confine ourselves only to the number crunching, but we should always aspire for the higher goals, think out of the box, communicate, probably contribute to the larger goal of the society. Without taking much time between and without coming between you, our ICA leaders and the esteemed speaker, I must tell you one thing only, that this particular event has seen the speakers from the 4 countries, which is India, UAE, Dubai, and then we have from Singapore, and we will be having over the course of the event, somebody from Australia as well. And as you can probably see, I am Nirlep Bhatt, currently located in Qatar. So probably there are 5 countries now. Now, with an esteemed privilege, I would like to give the control of the screen to a very young and dynamic Central Council member, CA Purushottam Khandelwal sir. And I'm very happy to let the audience know that just like him, I also hail from Ahmedabad. So Purushottam sir, yes. Thank you very much for your consent to join in this event, sir, on the second day. And we look forward to listen your words of wisdom.
Good evening, respected Nirlep Bhatt from Qatar chapter, Jaiswal sir, office, and respected member. It gives immense pleasure to be amongst you and addressed virtually. The ICI is dedicated to provide a best service to the member, and in particularly for Committee for Member in Entrepreneur and Public Service, led by Hansraj Chuk and Vice Chairman Dhiraj Khandelwal. They are always thinking out of box idea. And this time they are organizing a whole week for out of cubicle into fire. So they motivated to the members to become an entrepreneur or to join a public service. ICI is providing a best study material, best faculty, and organize various programs for the entrepreneur or a public service. The ICI try to live connect between the member in entrepreneur or a public service and wants to know their vision. The ICI leadership escalate that vision to the member for their benefit at large. We, as a council member, always thought that what we can best provide to the members. We have created such a committee for the member, those who want to become an entrepreneur. I got an opportunity to meet a Gautam Adani before 1 month, and they apprised about the activity of ICI. There are 650 chartered accountants working under the banner of Adani Group. And Gautam Bhai categorically told that Nirlep Bhai lightly said we have to come from the number crunch. Normally, chartered accountant is involved in the numbers, finance, audit, and taxation matter. But The Gautam Bhai wants how to become an entrepreneur. He wants chartered accountants not as a CFO, but CEO. Those who are ready to run their business. So, in the recent scenario, the corporate house highly believe in the chartered accountants, that chartered accountant is known only known for the audit or income tax or a company law, but he can become a run the show of industries. So with this opening remark, I welcome all of in this wonderful program organized by the Committee for Member in Entrepreneur and Public Service. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Honorable Central Council Member Purushottam Khandelwal, sir, for these words of wisdom. And as, sir, you have rightly highlighted, taking inspiration or taking cue from leading industrialist Gautam Adani, sir,
Yes.
that we should always aspire for the higher goal. Our academic brilliance and academic qualification and the sheer tough training, if I may say so, gives us a very solid skill set. But then it's up to us that how far we spread our wing and how far we continue to aspire the goal.
We have to out of cubicles, not restricted to only finance and accounts. We have spread our wings. Now we have a very good knowledge and we are taking a risk capacity also. So we can be a good entrepreneur.
Absolutely, sir. And if I also, on a slightly different note, if I just add that organization of the whole World Congress of Accountant itself is an evident on a different note, albeit for completely out of the box and the visionary thinkings by the ICI leaders.
Yes.
So with this note, I'll take a pleasure to invite our first speaker of today's CA Jagdish Prasad Jaiswalji, who has joined us from the Singapore. And Mr. Jaiswal, a chartered accountant, is chairman and managing director of Pickmore International Private Limited. He has been in business of metals, minerals, steel and related products, soft commodities and related recycling business, providing sustainable solutions for more than 31 years in Singapore. He carries all these businesses through company's headquarters in Singapore and processing plant in Malaysia. Mr. Jaiswal had been the director of Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, SICCI, for past 4 years and has been one of the directors at SME Center of SICCI and mentor for Young Entrepreneurs Network during his tenure at SICCI. Being socially and spiritually active, he has been treasurer and committee members for various terms at Sri Lakshminarayan Temple, Singapore, and has been associated with many charitable organizations in Singapore and India. For his entrepreneurial and social contributions, Mr. Jaiswal has been conferred with various awards and accolades. Just to mention a few: established Entrepreneur Award, a top category award by SICCI Entrepreneur Awards 2019, Indians of the World 2022 at House of Lords UK, and Bharat Shiromani Award 2019 by NRI Institute, and Singapore Indian Business Leaders Award 2016, and also Singapore's Leading Indian Entrepreneur Award 2008, category Large Enterprise, also by SICCI. Sir, we cannot be more fortunate than by having you over this esteemed forum. It's an honor for all of us to have you and also especially to have your thoughts and presentation on this very important topic. And we all, and I personally also look forward to inspired by your session. Screen is all yours, sir. Thank you very much.
Good evening, all the members from Asian subcontinent, and probably greetings to all dear members from other continent. Those are joining from different time zone. And thank you very much, Nirlab Bhattji, for your kind introduction. And Purushottam Khandelwalji, thank you for your presence and giving me this opportunity. For the benefit of all the members, Nirlab Bhattji has already given a kind introduction. So I will just moving forward to straight away. without introducing him for myself, I'll be just mentioning that I have been here in this metals and mining business for 31 years. Out of that, 25 years has been my own entrepreneurial journey, and it has been very rewarding, and I have no complaints about it. And certainly, when I was approached by this committee to give a talk, I was immediately had agreed, because I have been talking in many forums, and basically I thought this will be a good opportunity to share my experience with our members, which will be inspirational to them also. So with that, I will be starting my talk basically, and I will be doing in the format. I will share my entrepreneurial experience of for 25 years and the learnings from that entrepreneurship I'll be sharing. Then I will be also sharing my beliefs towards this entrepreneurial success. And the fourth section will be Q&A. If any of our members has any questions or they want to comment or share anything, will be welcomed. So let me start with my first part of entrepreneur journey. And let me actually share my screen. I have some presentation. So let me just take some time to share my screen. I hope everyone can see the screen now.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
All right. So as you can see, at the start of my entrepreneurial journey, I always have been aiming for peak. As I started my career as a chartered accountant, being a BSc Physics graduate, science graduate, I took a challenge to pursue the most difficult CA course during that time in probably 1984. And I completed my CA in 1989. I qualified as chartered accountant. And after that, I moved to doing some part-time practice in India along with some consultancy service. And that was very short tenure because again, like Khandelwal ji was telling that we should be doing out of box. My thought was always not so much confined with doing accounting practice and all. So I was just looking for other opportunity of abroad. And I got a consultancy assignment to come over to Singapore. It was some Tata Steel's management issues. And they hired me to sort out their some serious management issues and financial issues here. I came in 1991, sorted out their problems probably in 4 or 5 months, and they were impressed, and the top management wanted me to hire to run that Tata Steel's agency business here. I took that challenge, and rather I should say I seized the opportunity and became the head of that Tata Steel's agency business. Ran the business successfully for 4 or 5 years. Became instrumental to 500 crores export that time of Tata Steel's business by doing a quite huge number of turnover out of Singapore for them. In the process, after 4 or 5 years of running this branch, the agency business of Tata Steel here, the management, Tata Steel's management, top management change happened, and they were more domestic-centric approach they adopted. And obviously, I saw the opportunity of managing that agency business was not much there. And that is how my entrepreneurial journey started in 1996. And I started on my own the trading of steel business. And with the organic growth, the business grew. And I, of course, developed business into non-ferrous metals and other things. And came to a level by 2006, it was quite a sizable business, which was like I was looking forward to probably listing. And then I merged with one another local company to enable that so that I can list in Singapore, the business. So that gave us an opportunity, and one of our Australian listed company wanted to buy our business. And that is how we did a backdoor listing, actually, instead of going into own expense listing in Singapore. And then with the sale of that business, we became a listed company in Australia, part of the listed company in Australia, 2007. Business grew leaps and bounds. Our transacted price of 47 cents went up to 89 cents within span of 9 months. Unfortunately, the success didn't last long with the 2008 global financial crisis. I was running the Singapore business as a head of the Singapore entity. That survived well the GFC, but our head office level listed company went into huge loss of $250 million that time. We tried to survive that business with the infusion of funds from companies like Stemcor and one biggest German company, Sols. But it was really deep loss, and it was going nowhere. Though Singapore business was doing well, and I used to fund that Australian business for 2-3 years because that was my contractual obligation as a part of the sale. But I knew it is a sinking ship. So I came out from that and started my own business, this Pickmore International, on a thoughtful date of 11/11/11. I formed the company, and I told them that it's a sinking ship and you all are not able to provide the benefits of Singapore staff and all those are doing such good, marvelous job. So I came out and this business started. The good staffs followed me. And this new entity, Pickmore International, grew well, organically, quite well, up to 2016. And that is how I got a recognition of Singapore Indian Business Leaders Award. When I did this merger of Australian listed company, it was of unique type, and it was quite a talk after deal, and that also had led to getting award from Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce as a leading entrepreneur award, and the award was given by the president of Singapore. And then in 2016, I got this Singapore Indian Business Leaders Award. There are some, during this award ceremony, there was a live interview. Probably keeping time in mind, I will not play this video. It's a YouTube link, as you can see here. Probably later, if you have time, I will play this video, which has a live recording of my success as well as entrepreneurial journey. 2016, the business was running well. It was stable. Then again, my mind came, how can I contribute to the society with my success of own business? And then the unique model of CSR came to my mind, that being in metal business, what can I do which can provide some service to the society? And the motive was not to make the profit out of that business. The motive was to serve the society with your own expertise in your own field. Of course, profit will be a byproduct. That was the motive, and that is what started in 2016. I got long-term contract with one of the German leading company to provide it's a kind of metal recovery facility to set up in Singapore, which will be helping Singapore one of the national issue, which we have, like dumping of solid waste and all those. So with that, obviously, it was a very good initiative, government supported. We started recovering metals out of incineration bottom ashes. And all this, I took it to Malaysia, where I have a processing plant and did all the downstream processing to make it industrial raw material and all this. So this all activity was getting as forecasted, and it was doing very well. My German partners became very satisfied, and they approached for a joint venture. So we did a joint venture in 2018, and it's a quite big German company. And they with that joint venture of that particular business, we did it, and that led to this the Established Entrepreneur Award in 2019, which was presented by Deputy Prime Minister of Singapore in 2019. That motivated a lot. The staff also got motivated to working towards this business of recycling and all. The company, our Pickmore International Private Limited, also got rewarded with Enterprise 50 Award. And this is a very prestigious award given to top best 50 SMEs in Singapore on yearly basis. This award is co-organized by the Business Times and KPMG. And it's sponsored by the OCBC Bank and supported by government agency Enterprise Singapore, Singapore Stock Exchange, and SBF. These are the basically candidates which are picked for future listing and all. The beauty of this award is, like I was mentioning Paradbiji Singh earlier, it's to promote entrepreneurship. What they do, these winners of Enterprise 50 entrepreneurs, they get together with final year students of best university here, National University of Singapore. And they learn from the experience of this winning entrepreneur, from their experiences, and they write an article in this book, which is, as you can see, that Enterprise 50 book. During the process, obviously they benefit, the students benefit, as well as the winners of Enterprise 50, the entrepreneur get recognition. At the same time, the students also benefit, and they get inspired to fall into the entrepreneurship part. So probably, like Khandelwal ji was mentioning, these are kind of activity we should look into and invite entrepreneurs to talk to our members and see how they can get motivated and think out of box of not by just doing accounting and auditing or taxation job. It's our course is such a versatile and such a challenging course. We are actually really talented bunch of individuals, and we are proud members of this best institution called ICAI. So I request all our members to think very much in that line, and always, see how we can excel and think out of box and pursue entrepreneurship, or be it in a public service or whatever way, so that we can contribute to the society in a better manner, and which will be not only elevating our own life, certainly that will be satisfying also when we will be contributing towards the social cause, as well as keeping our institute's flag very high. So that is my entrepreneurial journey in short. Due to short of time, I won't take much of time, and let me go into the next stage of my learnings to from this entrepreneurial journey, which I would like to share with our members. First, I would like to share with our young members. My advice to them will be, you must remember that you are like member of one of the largest accounting body, and it's a prestigious institution. So you must have that strong will in yourself to excel and do something great, as our institute is. So with that thought, you will not only chart your own economic future, you will certainly be part of shaping the economic future of India. Like PM Modi said, we are selling towards 5 trillion economy. And like Gautam Adani ji was telling also, that CS should think not to be just CFOs and all. They should have that conviction that they can do well, and they are capable of, with a sound education and foundation of education by way of CA course. All the young members should have positive intent always in mind, fire in the belly to do something for society, and obviously nation and the world at large, which will lead them for self-development in the process also, while they are doing service to the nation and the world. During that, you must remember that there is no substitute for hard work. You need to do hard work in a smart manner. In today's world, it's not really the work we have to do hard. We have to do in smarter way, of course, with a passion to do something. That is more important. And whatever passion you have, whichever field you want to join, being a chartered accountant, I came into metals and it became my passion. And I am very satisfied with my 31 years of entrepreneurship in Singapore. So likewise, one can pursue their passion and easily do best in their career. This faith has to come in your mind. That's more important, and there should be some fire in the belly to do something. This kind of things will take you to the success. Once you become capable, success will follow you. You don't have to run after it. In this process, another advice will be there for young members that with 10-15 years of your career, whichever you are in, either you are in job or you are doing any consultancy or anything, my advice will be after 10-15 years of any organization, you should think to come out, because you already have a network, you already have an experience in any particular industry or field, and try to be entrepreneur, try to come out and be an employer rather than employee. The chances of failure will be less because you have a network, you have an experience. That will be a good way to move out. Being an entrepreneur, while it looks very lucrative, but it's not easy task. It's a very risky proposition. But if you come from same industry where you have your experience, where you have your network, it will be less riskier. Like I can give my example. I was doing in metals and steel, and I had a network. I had a knowledge, and I expanded on that, which made me successful. Likewise, there are many examples you can see. Those successful entrepreneurs. You can see the Air Asia boss. He is a financial educated person, but he joined airline industry for 4 or 5 years and then came out, and now he became the Air Asia owner. So likewise, that's my advice to come out in 10, 15 years time of your comfort or the experience, whatever you have gathered, and try to take your plunge for entrepreneurship. While you do all these things, obviously, you have to keep in mind, if you dream big, you will achieve big. That is what is very essential. So dreaming big only will make you big. If you don't dream anything, nothing will happen. So once you come out and you become successful, my advice will be always remain grounded, always remain humble, always believe in God, believe in your capability, always be fair to your stakeholders. All this will lead you to a successful long-term success. While you are having success, try to lead balanced life. Balanced life with family, balanced life with your friends, balanced life with your health. All these things has to go concurrently. Because as you know, its success is not only about wealth creation or maybe measured by how much wealth you have accumulated. In my opinion, it's a holistic success comes in a holistic manner. We have to pursue in that way. So always try to have balanced life. And lastly, you must have heart to do something for society, for with which you have come, and you should be able to give back to the society. All these attributes will certainly lead you to success. Nothing can stop you. Now, those are in middle level or senior members. My advice will be that they are more or less stable or settled in their own careers and professions. They should also think out of box that how can they contribute to the society, at least in their area of expertise. So that will make them easier to contribute to the society. While they are doing that, they also should have that balanced life attitude and think of doing something for society always. So all these sharings, whatever I have done, it's not just preaching. This is out of my own experience. And maybe I would like to give some examples which will certainly prove that. So I believe success has to be in holistic manner. It should not be measured by size of one's wealth, but only also it should be have three pillars of success as a holistic manner, namely material, social, and spiritual. While I have progressed materialistically with my entrepreneurial journey, I have never got obsessed with making money and not taking out time for my family, my friends, and all this. I have been very mindful of that. So in this process, I might have compromised my expansion, my other business expansion and all, but yes, I have done that knowingly, purposefully, so that I have a balanced life, always keeping my family in heart. This is the award, Indian of the World Award, which I got in the House of Lords by an Array Institute. Just now I was talking about the small advices. This is my family, lovely family, always supportive. My wife Anima Jaiswal, my son Gaurav Jaiswal, who is a practicing lawyer in London, practicing with a very large multinational law firm. And my daughter Gayatri Jaiswal, she is a program manager with Microsoft for last 3 years. I'm blessed with this family. These are my CA chapter friends. When I got award in 2019, the Established Entrepreneur Award, this is the photo along with them. I contribute time with my other friends also in social activities. So these are my social activity which I carry. At the same time, like I said, always in mind, I think how to contribute to the society. For business community, I have given my time during my tenure as a director at Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce from 2014 to 18. During that tenure, we invited a lot of ministers also at our programs in Singapore, including PM Modi in November 2015. And I had led business missions to India, which helped to bridge businesses between India and Singapore. Even many organizations, I had facilitated them to come to Singapore and promote them. And this Channel 18, new Channel 18 has also felicitated me during then. There is a link here, YouTube link. Maybe later we can play it here if there is time permits. So materialistically and socially, this is my activity. The last one is the spiritual. Spiritual development as we grow is also very important. That's my thought. So I have been blessed to have Guruji, a spiritual guru from whom I had taken Diksha, Param Pujya Jagat Guru Ram Bhadracharya Maharaj Ji, who is, I think, quite well known. He is Tulsi Pithadishwar, and he runs that Jawaharlal, I mean, JRDU University, which is an handicap university. And he was instrumental in Ram Janam Bhoomi decision making because he was able to provide the evidences from Vedic scriptures about the Ram's birthplace. And also, I am charitably attached with Guru Param Pujya Santaram Maharaj Ji, who is also an engineer by profession, but he has been in this preaching in Gurukul style of teaching for last 40 years, where Navodaya children are taken after 12th to give free education in a Gurukul pattern to make them noble citizens. And he has also vowed to give his own written simple Gita to all the members in India, all the citizens in India. So with this materialistic and social and spiritual attachments, I find the life quite benefiting and successful. And that is the approach I look at. So this has been my sharing so far, and thank you very much for listening all this. If there is time, I can play those videos. Otherwise, we can go for Q&A section.
Hello, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jashwantji. We still have 20 minutes for your session.
Okay, good.
And we can play a video and take the questions. Thank you.
Okay, let me play the video which was recorded live in 2016 when I was awarded Singapore Indian Business Leaders Award. And this video will give quite a bit of my journey up to 2016. And I hope my younger member will get inspired with it, and I'll be happy if few of them also get inspired. So let me play it. I think something went wrong. Just let me see. Okay. Just 1 second.
Peakmore International Private Limited, founded in 2011, is a company involved in processing and trading of primary, secondary, and scrap materials of ferrous and non-ferrous metals and mining. The company now has 10 staff at its head office in Singapore and 20 people in the associated processing facility in Malaysia.
Hi, my name is JP Jaiswal. My company name is Peakmore International Private Limited. I am the chairman and managing director of the company. Since my childhood, I have been a person who always seek for challenges and try to achieve the peak. And that has been all along throughout my journey till date. As a child, I was academically quite good. At the same time, also excelled in the sports. I did my schooling from my local village, Belpahar. It's a cosmopolitan town, which gave me an opportunity to grow myself and completed my bachelor's in science with physics honors with distinction. During my these school days and all, I used to get involved in the family business, which was a kind of I should say medium-sized business. And in spite of being a science graduate, I went for the chartered accountancy course, and with God's grace, completed in time. I would like to say always the education is the one of the most important way to elevate your life. And it is my message to all youngsters that try your best to get your best foundation by way of best possible education. I immediately went for a job in a export house, and as well as I was doing my part-time practice as a fallback situation. And I mean, I should say financially as well as socially, it was quite a good opening for me as a career. But at the same time, I had a setback. My dad that time got lung cancer, and my focus shifted towards providing him the best possible medical attention. I was lucky that my employees, the trading house people, they were helping me to get best possible imported medicines to treat my dad also. And I also gave my best of treatment possible that time. And this journey went for about a 2 years time. And this was a bit difficult time for myself and the whole family. My dad had these 2 years of journey with me. He did enjoy my initial success, but I regret he could not be part of the my future successes and achievements. To make myself financially sound, to support my family and discharge my duties towards them, I decided to go to either US or Singapore. And I was lucky enough to get an assignment as a consultant to come and take care of in a company here, which was the agency of Tata Steel business. And came to Singapore in 1991, late 1991. And of course, with the skills which was acquired through my chartered accountancy and all, I was able to solve the issues. And the management asked me whether I can take care of the company. And that's where I chose Singapore instead of USA because of proximity to India, as well as the prevailing Asian conditions here, which will help to raise a family in a better environment. Due to change in management in Tata Steel in 1995 and their policy towards domestic-centric business, this company, the turnover started going down, and I didn't see much scope of future growth and all. I left this company and started another company with involved in international trade of steel material. This business was doing well until 1997-98, and then the crisis came, financial crisis, which led this company in reduction in sales and all. Then the American investors decided to not continue with this business, but he was having full faith in me, and he had allowed me to access to his funds as and when I needed for my own ventures. And that is where my real entrepreneurship started. And that's in 1999, I formed my company to do the similar business of steel trade. And then business picked in 2006. And that is where I chose to merge with another player, another local company in the similar business, having yard facilities and all. And then there was a birth of this larger entity in 2007. Post-merger with that company, post-sale of the business grew leaps and bounds. And the local business, as well as the group, CMA Corporation, at peak. With all these successes and all, of course, again, 2008 crisis came, and where the CMA Corporation, at the head office level, were huge losses, and they could not recover. But end of 2010, we realized that we are actually selling a boat with no direction in the ocean, yeah. And that's where we decided to come out and replicate the same business in 2011. And that is where Pickmore International was incorporated in 11/11/2011. It was a thought after date. And Pickmore International replicated the whole business. The good staff followed us. The company has grown strength to strength over the years of 4 years with the help of dedicated staff here in the head office as well as in the operational facility in Malaysia. We believe the future will be quite bright in coming days, and we should be able to achieve the targets we have set for further growth and possibly listing. Whatever field you are in, whatever types of business or profession you are in, have passion towards that, give hard work, be fair to your stakeholders. These things will take you long and make you capable. Once you are capable, success will follow. First, they should attain the best possible education they can, which will be like founding step for them to excel in their future life. Have faith in God, respect your parents, try to give back to the society, try to have a balanced life, and never ever try to measure success in terms of accumulation of wealth. All right. Let me see this. Okay, Parabjit ji,
Yes.
there is another
Yes.
2 minutes video. Do you think I should play that, or we should go for?
Yeah. Yes. We can play that. We can play.
Okay, great. So it's a like I said, during my directorship at Indian Chamber of Commerce, I had
Right.
a lot of opportunities and all. And this, I was felicitated by News Channel 2018. Let me just show that video, short one.
To felicitate these people, I would like to call up Rajesh, who's the chairman and managing director for St. Angelo's VNCT Ventures. My first gentleman who I would like to felicitate is Mr. JP Jaiswal, who is a chartered accountant, is the chairman and managing director of Peakmore International Limited. He has 25 years of experience in the business of metals, minerals, steel, and related products, soft commodities, and related recycling business, providing sustainable solutions. He carries all these businesses through companies headquartered in Singapore and processing plant in Malaysia. He's also a director of many other companies in Singapore and abroad. Mr. Jaiswal has been a director of Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry for past 4 years and has also been one of the directors at SME Center at SICI and mentor for Young Entrepreneurs Network. Being socially and spiritually active, he has been a treasurer and committee member for various terms at Sri Lakshmi Narayan Temple, Singapore, and has been associated with many charitable organizations in Singapore and India. For his entrepreneurial social contribution, Mr. Jaiswal has been confirmed with various awards and accolades. To mention a few, Singapore Indian Business Leaders Award 2016 and Lead in Indian Entrepreneur Award 2008. I would like to call up upon the podium Mr. JP Jaiswal. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him.
Ms. Manisha, Sudha from Network 18, learned panelist, my friend Mr. Dinakaran, my fellow board of director and members from SICI, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. Hope so far you have well enjoyed this knowledge sharing session, and we are really happy to bring this Network 18 and support them in this network sharing session, which I believe has benefited you, and certainly for retail investor, it has given quite a bit of clarity. I think later part during dinner networking, you can clarify further with all the learned panelists. SICI has been always forth-looking to support this kind of knowledge sharing sessions as well as business missions to India and all. And we wish to continue this to bridge the businesses between Singapore and India. next we are going to have the inspiring session of Mr. Dinakaran. So thank you very much, and let's engage with him. Thank you very much. All right, so here we are, and ready for all questions, answers, if any there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, CAJP Jaiswalji, for your very inspiring session. So can you stop sharing your screen?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, your journey, very long journey of entrepreneurship, which is not very easy. And you would be very busy in different activities you are involved in. So many of our members have been asking that what would be the best way to connect with you if you need any if they need any guidance. So can you throw a light where they may connect with you or your office, your secretary, where a message can be passed on to you any way you are comfortable with?
Yeah, so they can drop an email, the email ID you have. You can share my email ID. They can drop an email ID. I think as when I have time, I will be happy to reply there and will be helpful to them.
Okay, sir. Maybe if you can share your email ID in your voice now, that would be helpful because members can quickly make a note.
Oh, that will be jp@PMISG. That is PMI. That is for Pickmore International, SG Singapore. So jp@PMISG.com.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. One quick question, maybe in 30 seconds, you can answer that, these days we are very much concerned with the life of the organization, where people say that some of the organizations which have innovated have been there for 100 years. But now the average life of an organization may be 10 to 15 years. So does it scare you, or you are comfortable in your journey?
No, so it boils down to the principles you adopt. In our business also, if I want to grow leaps and bounds, I can do overnight. But then it comes with a huge risk. So long you manage your business and manage your risk. And like I said, I believe in balanced life. That approach has helped us, and I'm very confident because whenever I do an expansion, I do with my proper risk assessment. I don't do anything without risk.
Okay, thank you. That's a very valid point you have raised, and thank you so much. Deep gratitude from the committee for members in entrepreneurship and public service, from our committee chairman C. Hansraj Chuk and from our committee vice chairman C. Dheeraj Khandelwal. And this 1 hour of yours, which you have spent with our members, wherein a lot of members have joined live, and they will also have access of it later, will keep inspiring them. And in the late hours of Singapore, you have spared your time. So please accept our gratitude, and a formal vote of thanks will be there at the end of the session, but you may have to leave now. So that's why please accept these words of words.
Maybe during travel, I will take on my handphone.
Yeah,
but my really thanks to all of you and all the central committee members, and giving me this opportunity. Obviously, it is close to my heart, like serving to society and doing something for society has been always there, but doing for our own members is like always heartening. And thank you very much for that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now move on to our second session, where we have CA Ramesh Mahalingam from Dubai. And I will briefly introduce Ramesh. Ramesh formal name is Skandan Mahalingam, and he is popularly known to all of us as Ramesh. He is a chartered accountant, our member, and former investment banker and CFO based in Dubai. He qualified as a chartered accountant in November 1983 when he was based in Kolkata with an All India 15th rank in the finals. Earlier in the entrance examination, he was placed All India rank 1. He has spent the last 35 years living and working in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain. After working in MNCs and other corporates, he made a switch to banking before becoming an entrepreneur. He is a founder and managing director of Ideal Capital Management Consultants, LLC, a leading M&A transaction advisory and consulting firm in Dubai, which is now 12 years old. He holds senior non-executive positions in other organizations, including Evolvance Capital and Fidelis Word, both private equity fund houses that invest predominantly in India. Since the start of Dubai Expo 2020, he has coached over 800 startup entrepreneurs across 25 batches on how to pitch to investors. Most of them have traveled from India. His coaching sessions are branded Pitch with Penny and are completely pro bono. They have been held under the auspices of the Indian Consulate, Dubai, which is like an embassy, which is based at Abu Dhabi, and an initiative of Consul General of India to Dubai, Dr. Aman Puri. He is, His Excellency Dr. Aman Puri is the current Consul General. Aside from his day job, he has been a long-standing assessor of MRM Business Award, named after the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, for several years. This is a GCC-wide award for business excellence. He was judged at Elevate pitch competition. He had been involved in various activities of Indian business and professional council. He is a founder of a Toastmasters club in Dubai, which is exclusively for Indian chartered accountants. He has been a faculty at our overseas office in Dubai for GMCS, and he undertakes speaking and teaching engagements in academic and professional circles. He lives with his wife in Dubai, Jaya, who is also a chartered accountant and also a director with him in Ideal Capital, and also his parents. Thank you so much, Ramesh, for being with us here today and taking out your time to share this knowledge with our members. And now I would request all our members and guests who have been attending this session to please give a big virtual round of applause for Ramesh. And Ramesh, now the screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabdeep, and the various officials of the Chartered Accountants Institute in India. In particular, the chairman and vice chairman of the Committee for Members in Entrepreneurship and Public Services, the chairman being CA Hansraj Chugh and vice chairman being CA Dheeraj Khandelwal. Obliged to you, gentlemen, for having afforded me this opportunity, which I consider a privilege and honor, and that too for the second time on this institute's platform, the first having been in 2021. Thanks again to Prabdeep having coordinated that effort. This evening, we shall be examining the startup space in the new era. I've structured this session into 5 sections, and I'd like to throw a PowerPoint presentation on the screen so it makes it easier for all of you to follow. Is it visible now? Prabdeep, if you could give me a confirmation if it's visible. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you, Ayaz. This, by the way, is a view of Sheikh Zayed Road, Dubai, right in front of the Dubai International Financial Center. It's a night view, an aerial view. This is also where our offices are located. Now, a matter of personal pride to me is the fact that the Indian startups stood out among all the 200 countries participating in the expo, we stood out in not just our sheer numbers, but also in the quality of the startups that participated. This expo, in a lot of ways, was technology, of course, but also startups, a startup special. And we brought on a sheer variety and numbers to the world stage. Our Consul General, as was mentioned in the introduction, our Consul General, Dr. Aman Puri, played a stellar role in mobilizing our entire country, 26 states in 26 weeks, on average, a week per state. And this was the audience in the hall at the last of the Elevate Pitch series. Now, he coined a branding for this pitching series to bring investors in front of these pitching entrepreneurs week in, week out. And I personally had the privilege of coaching all of these startups, the entrepreneurs, under a pro bono, but a branded series called Pitch with Panache, coaching them on the investor psyche and how to pitch. And I can tell you this was a wonderful once-in-a-lifetime experience for me personally, to have all this variety and all these numbers. Now, going on to the topic itself, as I said, the speech is broken down into 5 sections. The topic, if you remember, if you can see on top, is startup space in the new era. So would like to first define what this new era is all about, and then also take a look at why all this brouhaha over startups. What is so unique or special about startups? We'll take a look at that. And then we shall examine what are the trends in the startup space in the new era across the globe, not just in any one country. And then we'll focus on the startup space in the Middle East. Admittedly, a latecomer to the startup world, but by no means staying behind. Then we will wrap up with what are the opportunities for chartered accountants in this space. At the end of the day, you must have a takeaway from this talk. And this, I believe, would be your takeaway. This would wrap up the message for each one of us in the audience. Great. Let's get to a beginning. The new era. I call this the era of disruption. Disruption on the demand side and disruptors on the supply side. Why do I call it the era of disruption? Because this millennium, which is just 22 years old as on date, has been broiling in crises for the most part. The dot-com bust, the 2006 subprime crisis, the 2008 global crisis, COVID-19, the Ukraine war, the climate crisis, the chip shortage, the ship tonnage crisis. The list is long and seemingly unending. These disruptions have been both deep and widespread. Deep as in having an impact on people and economies, going deep, and widespread as in impacting the whole wide world in their sweep, like COVID did, causing all of us around the world to go remote overnight in almost every aspect of our lives. Now, all of this was on the demand side. On the supply side, it's been an era of disruptors. Thankfully, most of them positive. The new era is characterized by technological developments that have been mind-boggling, to say the least. Remember the analog machines, the Casio calculator, the fax machine, the photography camera, the VCR, the audio cassette, the floppy disk, the key phone cell phones, the pagers, the BlackBerry, paid international trunk calls, bank teller counters, the finger scan readers at the airports, the thermometer, the stethoscope paper-based income tax returns, and countless others. All of these have been upended by their digital versions. You may still find a few of them in use, but only as a vestige of a not so distant past. Newer technology has replaced them, or rather has obsoleted them. And the pace of obsolescence or replacement is only getting faster by the day. One by one, each one of them has been gobbled up by an app or two on our handheld smartphone. Welcome to the new era. Thus, apps for VoIP calling, online banking, online groceries, online ride hailing, online commuting to work, online any and everything have taken over. In fact, the video conference that we are currently attending is itself a case in point, providing us with instant access to each other while leaving the comfort of our homes or offices. Each of these innovations has been the work of some startup somewhere in the world. And in the new era, the typical young engineer, MBA, or other graduate no longer dreams of joining the proverbial rat race. He or she no longer aspires to climb the corporate ladder or sink into the reassuring lull of a low-risk government job. Today's educated youth take it in their own hands to generate employment. They actually create vacancies rather than fill vacancies. Their actions, therefore, are music to the ears of the leaders of their respective countries. Welcome to the new era. Now, let's turn to startups. What's a startup to start with? Let's clear the definitions so that we're all on the same page. A startup is a business entity in its early stages with a focus on developing a new product or an innovative business model, and clearly with an aim to grow rapidly. The goal of the early business model can be not necessarily profits, it can be revenue, or even just use by non-paying customers. The underlying theme is the innovation and the rapid growth. These are what stand out when you say startup. And hence, to draw a distinction between startups and other companies. What's that distinction? A startup is to be distinguished from a company which is an established business that may or may not be growing. So an established company may be even shrinking. And the focus of the established company may be on maintaining or expanding its position in the market. Whereas for a startup, the whole idea is bring innovation onto the table, and by virtue of such innovation, grow rapidly. Startups have been known to grow at hundreds of % per annum over an extended period, and thereby multiply their size exponentially rather than grow incrementally, as a company would. A key principle of startups, I must add, is to be agile and flexible, because the environment in which they operate, that is the social and political environments, are very volatile. Yesterday, if you attended yesterday's session, Dr. Ajay Jain spoke about the VUCA world, VUCA being the acronym for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Agility and flexibility, I dare say, is your best defense in a VUCA world. And startups are no exception to this. In fact, the term pivot is a very important one in the startup lexicon. The word pivot actually refers to the process of making a significant change to the company's product or business model or strategy in order to make a course correction or to better meet the needs of its customers, or even to take advantage of new opportunities. So in order to make a course correction or to steer your ship, if your ship is very bulky and hard to steer, it will take a long time. And time and cost are killers of business. Therefore, every startup needs to be agile and nimble or flexible in order to be able to change course or direction. And that, in essence, my friends, is what we call pivoting. So agility and flexibility are two key characteristics. And here I must share a statistic with you. The world over, most startups, and I mean a percentage as high as 70 to 80% of all startups, pivot at some point in time in their lives. Yeah? Due to a variety of reasons. Maybe it's a change of market conditions, maybe a lack of traction with their initial product or business model. Maybe what they thought is going to be of use to their customers is not exactly what the customers think is of use to them. Yeah, so there's that gap. And whenever there's a gap, the startup needs to pivot, needs to be agile, nimble, flexible, and change course and make amendments. Or simply the discovery of new opportunities. The world, the market out there is not very static either. It's a dynamic market. And the startup needs to reach out, leap, jump, and grab that opportunity. And in order to do so, may need to redefine itself. And that, in essence, is pivoting. So, what's unique about startups is that they are essentially, to recap, they serve a new product or an innovative business model. They grow rapidly, and they are agile and flexible and are able to pivot with minimal cost, time, and effort. So that's a little bit about this, the uniqueness of startups vis-a-vis other businesses. Now let's cover what we think are the current trends in the startup world, not just in any one country. First, remote work and digital platforms. This was amply demonstrated by COVID-19, the pandemic, which overnight accelerated the shift, for all of us towards remote work and towards digital platforms. Even before COVID, I must say, there were several digital communities that were working remotely, but COVID accelerated the rest of us into a remote working mode. This has in turn led to the rise of virtual events such as ours today, online marketplaces, and other digital first models such as virtual reality and the metaverse and so on. So that's clearly a trend that has manifested itself and is here to stay. Another trend is that of e-commerce and online businesses. Now, for most products today, if not the elderly people, the younger generations, including boomers, are resorting to online purchase. Direct-to-consumer startups have spawned, online exchanges have spawned, marketplaces have proliferated in all countries and all markets. This is another very clear trend in the startup space over the years, and is only increasing. The third is the infusion of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, with advancements in short, they're called AI and ML. With these advancements in software, startups are now able to leverage these technologies to create more personalized and efficient products and services. For example, you have these AI-powered chatbots. A machine is chatting with you as if it was a human. You have predictive analytics. What will the consumer do next? Or what will the next movement be? They predict it and they are there to serve you even before you've expressed your need. And also natural language processing. I'm confident some of you have already tried out Chat GPT, which is the current rage. It's actually natural language processing AI at work. Chat GPT can actually write an essay for you. It can even deliver code, lines of code in software. That's a trend that has really caught on. It might be scary to some, but there are others who revel in it. Another trend is more and more startups are focused on sustainable and socially responsible business practices. This is a very welcome trend in that it promotes environmental friendliness, as in products that are environmentally friendly, not destroying the earth with every product produced. The circular economy has received a boost. And by circular economy, I mean the world of recycling, and reusing. All the re's, that's the circular economy. And also certain very socially impactful solutions. The startups have been very ingenious in coming out with socially impactful solutions. So that's another trend we see that has gained and that is here to stay. The next trend that I would like to disclose or share with you is the digital health and wellness solutions. Startups have gone to the extent of coming out with wearables, and wearables that are connected to your handphone. They have come up with wellness solutions, all available digitally, so that with minimal effort, you can actually measure what you're doing. And also, if you believe in what gets measured gets done, you would want to believe in the utility of such solutions. Why is the need for this? Because of this felt and unarticulated need of people looking for ways to improve their mental and physical health in the digital age. People are no longer physically exerting themselves like in the previous generations. And that in turn has been telling on their health. And that is the effect that these digital health and wellness solutions seek to counter. The next big trend is in education. The growing trend of online education, enabled amply by internet and various technologies, has actually created a whole slew of opportunities for startups in the education and in the e-learning sector. Education or learning anywhere, anytime, any place, by anyone, has become very popular, and people are earning degrees on an entirely online platform. Had it not been for online education, I shudder to think what would have happened to all the students in the world throughout the 2-year COVID pandemic. Thankfully, they did not lose academic years, and they did not lose prime years of their time, at least on the education plane. And the last of the trends that I'd like to talk about is the increased diversity and inclusion. Startups are becoming more and more diverse and inclusive. And what do I mean by that? Women entrepreneurs are on the same platform as men. Underrepresented groups coming from small towns and villages, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities, they are on a level platform as their tier 1 city counterparts. People with other forms of disability, they don't necessarily have to fall behind anymore. Yeah. The internet is a great leveler. Technology is internet's counterpart in becoming a leveler. So diversity and inclusion have actually received a big boost in the world. And I see this trend continuing where the distinction between the more privileged urban spaces and the less privileged urban spaces have, at least as traditionally recognized, the distinction has been minimized. However, I must add that the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, is constantly evolving. And if we were to talk about the same topic in a year's time, there might be one or two other matters added and maybe one or two dropped from this list. Yeah, so it's a very dynamic world. Now let's turn our attention to the startup space in the Middle East. By Middle East, I include Middle East and North Africa regions. Yeah, the Arab-speaking parts of North Africa, which essentially go from Egypt, Sudan, Egypt to Tunisia and Morocco and Libya. So that's MENA for you, MENA, Middle East and North Africa. That's the acronym. Now, startups started off in a small way, typically those days by the expats. But then they have caught on to the point where they are making regional headlines. The ride-hailing app Careem was acquired in a multi-billion transaction by Uber. So 2021 thereafter was a record year for venture investments in the region. And the international Match Group acquired Egypt's dating site Harmonica. South Africa's IMM investment fund made a $65 million investment in UAE's hydroponic startup called UAE Harvest, a pure harvest, sorry. And then Swivel acquired a Latin American startup via Pool, yeah, in a reverse direction. Yeah. So MENA startups have been making headlines internationally on a fairly frequent basis in recent years. Admittedly, they've been behind on the calendar as compared to US startups, Chinese startups, or Indian startups, but they are gathering pace. Remember, the population of all of the Middle East countries put together is not even half of the Indian population, or for that matter, the Chinese population. Yeah? So it is a smaller market, but it is fast turning into a tech market. And in terms of unicorns, now it's no comparison. India has, in its peak, had 105 unicorns. That figure has come off that high as certain companies have been valued at lower numbers. I think the number touted around currently is about 85 unicorns. In a world with about 1,200 unicorns globally. The Middle East has produced around a dozen unicorns. Yeah, companies like Careem, Souk.com, Angami, music company, InstaShop, and Kitopi. Yeah? So Careem was ride-hailing, Souk.com was e-commerce, Angami was music streaming, InstaShop was online grocery, and Kitopi was cloud kitchens. So these are some of the sterling examples of unicorns born out of this region. The ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, is new, relatively, as I said, and developing, but then it is punching above its weight. Yeah. Several more unicorns should be coming up in the near future if the current plans bear fruit. Some of the key developments in the startup space, yeah, is the support that these unicorns receive. There's been huge support from the government and from quasi-government entities, as also private venture capital. Governments, like in the Indian government's case, have been recognizing the need for supporting these startups. They are as I mentioned at the start of my talk, governments have been recognizing startups as a panacea for unemployment problems. And therefore, they've been striving to support them in multiple ways. So the government has been, in several of these countries, have been starting incubators or accelerators and funding programs, and has been allocating investment funds for investing into these startups, for funding these, and also funding angel investors and private equity firms. Yeah. So to give you certain examples, there are certain incubators that we can talk about. OSS 500 is a leading incubator from Jordan. Yeah. They provide training, mentorship, and funding, all three, to startups. They have a focus on technology and creative startups. Flat 6 Labs is another pan-Arab accelerator and early stage venture capital firm that provides funding, mentorship, and resources. Yeah, this is to a variety of industries, not just deep tech, but also healthcare and education. And they have offices in Egypt, in UAE, in Saudi Arabia, in Bahrain, and Tunisia. So they are pan-Arab truly. Astrolab is another startup incubator based in Lebanon that focuses on technology and innovation. Again, providing funding, mentorship, and resources to help these startups grow and succeed. Then you have another category, which is the accelerators. Now, the distinction between incubators and accelerators, I think it's well worth making it here. Incubators are those that will guide you as a startup all the way through, whereas accelerators are intense, short-term, 3 to 6 month support systems that coach you, guide you, fund you, and then you're on your own. So a combination of incubators and accelerators are required, given for various types of startups and for various types of entrepreneurs. So Abu Dhabi Accelerator, that's a program that provides funding, mentorship, and resources to startups in Abu Dhabi. And this is an accelerator. Dubai Future Accelerators, that's a government-backed program in Dubai, similar to the Abu Dhabi one. And it focuses on creating innovative solutions for the future of Dubai. Rise Up is an accelerator based in Egypt that does the same, but it's privately owned. And then you have funding programs, 500 Startup, which is a global venture capital program operating in the Middle East. Qatar Development Bank. This development bank has actually founded a Qatar Business Incubation Center and a Qatar Science and Technology Park, all focused on providing funding and mentoring and networking opportunities for startups. Abu Dhabi Global Market FinTech, Abu Dhabi Innovation Challenge. So that's another funding program, but this one is focused on fintechs. Then you have an Arab Angel Fund, which is a VC fund that again focuses on technology startups. Wamda Capital, very well-known early stage VC fund. Sawaris Ventures, again very popular and well-known in Egypt. And there are several others, Arzan VC, Middle East Venture Partners, and so forth. So there's a whole slew of venture capital firms that have spawned that are out looking for opportunities, and each one of them vying for the next big unicorn. The Dubai Silicon Oasis has something called DTech, Dubai Technology and Entrepreneurial Center, who were instrumental in working with the Indian startups during the Expo 2020. And several of our Indian startups who had come to Dubai have actually set up shop within that Dubai Silicon Oasis DTech Center. They receive a variety of support measures, office space, guidance with the laws, regulations. They receive funding support, pitch book prep support, pitching arena, conference room, a hall, exhibition, or rather a pitching hall, fully equipped. Whatever is a startup who's like a babe in the woods might require is all provided by these authorities. That brings us to the next point, which is, what are the opportunities for chartered accountants in this startup space? Mind you, I'm not going into detail about Indian startup scenario for the simple reason that being in India, each one of you must be familiar with the Indian startup scene in all its bells, whistles, and glory. And therefore, I'm not carrying coals to Newcastle. I thought it might be a better use of your time for me to share what's happening in the Middle East to you. Now, for a CA, one of the key things that they could do is to help startups in their business strategy. Now, I do this pro bono. My day job is that of an M&A advisor and do consultancy services. So I've been rendering pro bono support to startups. And in any case, they don't have the financial muscle to pay for it, at least not in cash. They might offer some equity, perhaps, to people that are truly giving them value. But yes, the opportunity exists for chartered accountants to work in this space. So helping startups to develop and to implement effective business strategies, and that would include market research, competitive analysis, financial forecasting, and the cerebral part of the planning and budgeting aspects of startups. Because startups, typically, what you find is they are engineers, they are creative people, not necessarily having gone to business school or to an accountancy class, or not necessarily having familiarity with spreadsheets or planning, or the corporate world. There are startups founded by people who've been in the corporate world, who've been there, done that. But in my little experience, among the 700 people during Expo and the 100 startup founders since then I've coached, I found the vast majority of them to not be able to handle these boardroom style thought processes. So this is something that chartered accountants will have a field day in assisting startups with. Then let's look at the area of operations and management. Starting with simple things like organization design, putting an organization chart in place, how to squeeze more out of process improvements, how to measure performance in order to manage it at startups, how to draw accountability at every individual level or at every process level. These are areas that chartered accountants are very fluent with, and startup founders, sadly, are not. So this is one area of complementary skill sets as between our members and startup founders. So net, we can help them become more efficient and more effective thereby. The next area I would submit that we could help them with is in the regulatory and compliance area. Startups don't quite know what the law says. They've never read a law book. They don't even know where to begin. So we should be able to help them navigate the legal framework, the regulatory environment, and the what's lawful, what's not, especially in the area of intellectual property. I find many of them, having developed something new, have not bothered to even register. Even the idea of registering their IP or trademark or patent has not occurred to them. Yeah. Strange as it might sound to us chartered accountants, this is the fact on the ground. So chartered accountants can play a pretty important role in helping entrepreneurs protect the value that they have created. Yeah. And then again, there could be certain industry specific regulations that we might be able to guide them along with. Then, of course, the most obvious one, you've probably been waiting for me to say this, the financing assistance, helping startups secure the funding. Yeah. By now, you would have seen that the founders of startups are not necessarily people born with a silver spoon. They are not sons and daughters of wealthy industrialists. They are often the boy next door who, without capital, but with a bright spark in him or her, has set out into the wide world of uncertainty and gone about building a startup from an idea, giving life to that idea. Now, this person has no clue where the funds will come from to give effect to the ideas, even to create a prototype or a minimum viable product, MVP. So here is where people like us, we can, through our connections, through our credibility, connect these people up with people who have money, capital to spare, to invest, and to take a bet on. And in order to do so, we can help them prepare business plans, prepare the financial projections, create Excel models with all the what ifs and the scenarios built in, and also help them with presentation to investors so that in minimum time they come out with the best looking view of their companies. We should be like the photographer, show the company in the best light to the investor, not do photoshopping, but photography of the target, of the startup. Then it's my personal favorite area, mergers and acquisitions. We could advise startups on acquiring other startups if they are complementary and if they have a snug fit, if they will create values through synergizing the two. Yeah. Or we could advise the founder to just sell his company and get out and do something else, maybe another startup. Or we could advise investors on structuring entities under which they acquire and combine certain startups into one. Yeah, we could help them with valuations, which chartered accountancy is known for, or we could do due diligence assignments on behalf of the merged or the target or the acquirers of the targets. So there's a range of financial and contiguous work that we chartered accountants can do and bring value to the table. All in all, if we are of a service mindset to the startup community, we will find many things to do, and we are, I dare say, best suited to do to these highly energetic, highly capable, but non-knowledgeable startups and founders. Yeah. Now, I will share with you a screen. This, on the right-hand side of your screen, is the Indian ambassador, Mr. Sanjay Sudhir, His Excellency, to the UAE. And the pitch with panache was summarized and written about for all startup folks, and this was in the newspaper publication. And in this picture is the head of the Dubai Silicon Oasis and his deputy. And this is our Consul General, Dr. Aman Puri. And this is co-founder of the Indian unicorn Udan. During that 26 weeks, we were fortunate to rub shoulders with several of our Indian unicorns. And therefore, I salute and applaud the Indian ambassador and the Consul General in their efforts to bring this to the people. Now, I have a quick 40 seconds of a video that will hopefully guide you. So if you notice, there's a very busy graph. That's why I animated it so that you can see how the graph evolves. You can get a copy of it. The link is in the next slide. But broadly, the milestones that a typical startup goes through are in this right-hand side panel. I put about 25 milestones, right from the conceiving the idea to growth-related milestones. And on the left side, the y-axis is actually valuation, and I've indexed it to 100. And this is based on an empirical study of about 50 Indian startups through the decade 2011 to 2020 until the start of COVID. So if you see the valuation rises at each subsequent letter round series. The biggest rises are in series D, E, and F. Yeah, as the company is established, that's when this rise occurs. Yeah, you will find in your experience working with entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs, that while they are in seed stage and series A stage, they are such big dreamers that they all want to command a series F valuation right at series A and seed stages. This is typical of entrepreneurs and shows that they're yet to mature, for lack of a better way of putting it. I'm happy to share this. Okay, here is the purpose of the funding, typical funding. I mean, there's no one size fits all, but about 90 to 95% of the world's startups fit into this model. I'm happy, as I said, to share this screen with you. Here it is. There's a QR code and there's a short form link to this setup. So thank you all for staying on and hearing this piece. I'm open to questions, if any, from yourselves.
Thank you so much, Ramesh. And we do have questions here. We have a question. The name is not there. One of our members is asking, please name some accelerators and incubators which are right now present in India, if you can.
India, incubators and accelerators. I think every state has its own incubator and accelerator. We've had, see, the people that came to to Dubai, the startups, they were sent by V Hub and T Hub, and every state has its own set of incubators and accelerators. You just have to Google them for your relevant state. My guess is there will be at least 100, if not more, incubators and accelerators in the Indian context. Perhaps somebody from the Indian institute may be focusing on startups and may be able to help the person who's asking the question with some specific names. I've lived 35 years in the Gulf, and so ask me questions about the Gulf.
Surely, we will assist Ramesh. And the next question we have from Krishna, who is residing in Alwar. He says that for a fresher CA, from where to start to do all these things, like how to prepare our base for these things, how we can gain experience for this kind of work. So if you can throw any light, any guidance.
Excellent. Before I answer Krishna's question, that triggers a thought. Chartered accountants have also come and presented as startup founders. Not just CAs helping other founders, but CAs becoming founders themselves. And one of them came up with an automated tax or VAT software. He digitized it and he was selling it. And actually, one of them has tied up with the telecom operator for the telecom operator to sell it on their portal, and he would operate it in the background. Another case is that of somebody who has created all this software and algorithms for IFRS 16 lease accounting. And he's made it so dynamic that you could operate it whether you're using IFRS 16 or Ind AS or US GAAP. And even if you're translating from one set of accounting standards to another, he gives you those entries as well. Another founder has created something for ECL computation models, expected credit loss, right? Under IFRS 9. So there is no end to human creativity. Chartered accountants are not dull and boring, at least not anymore. They are as good as it gets in creativity. To answer Krishna's specific question, I would say make a beginning in terms of studying these venture capital funds, these incubators, processes, and figure out where you can fit in and play a role, and see if you can work with a firm on a remote basis to start with in your spare time. Try and do some pro bono work with some accelerator or incubator. And in Saudi, there's quite a few. Riyadh is teeming with incubators and accelerators and VC funding programs. Yeah, there is a Saudi Venture Capital Association, for that matter. Yeah, write to them and ask them how you could contribute to them initially without expecting any monetary return, because you are basically, in a sense, interning with them in the startup space. So where there is a will, there's a way, and there are ever so many of them.
Thank you, Ramesh. Our time is over, but I would say that I would like to give you 30 seconds to answer one question from Kamal, who is based in Kolkata. He asked a very big question. He says that give me an evolution of a startup. So can you answer that in 30 seconds?
Evolution of the startup, that's exactly what I did in that video. That video was 40 seconds. The evolution of the startup is from the idea in the brain of the founder to trying it out in reality, that is to create a prototype, to trying it out with a few friends, family, customers to see if it will work, and to create a minimum viable product and try and sell it on a possibly free or heavily discounted basis. Establish what the client wants is what you have in mind or what you've got. Once you've made that fit, that is the most difficult part of a startup, achieving the product customer fit. Once you've got that, you cracked it. If you have customers, you will have investors. If customers are not buying it, you've got to pivot, you've got to rework, go back to the drawing board, fix it until you find something that customers exactly want. The moment you find the customer product fit has happened, then by all means, go to investors, ask them for funds, and go about the business of spreading it, widening it, deepening it, expanding it, and gaining market share.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ramesh. We are honored to have our Honorable Central Council member, CA Piyush Jhajarji, for the vote of thanks. And without taking any time, I hand over the screen to sir. Over to you, Piyush.
Thank you, Mr. Baveja. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nirlap. As we end our second day of this session, basically from the cubicle into the fire on the entrepreneurship, great effort done by our committee. I really appreciate both the speakers. The first one being Mr. Jagdish Prasad Jaiswal. I heard him and his journey from a steel trader to become a large conglomerate and now heading a listed company in Singapore is really a great, and it was quite a motivational session. I'm sure the attendees have benefited by that, and it will motivate them to actually go into entrepreneurship. But another speaker, Ramesh Mahalingam, again, a great, very nice presentation for the startup and a lot of opportunities for a chartered accountant in the startup space. Also been as an entrepreneur and also as a consultant, I think so. And a lot of curious have come in. I thank both the speakers. I thank you very much, Jagdish Prasad ji and Ramesh Mahalingam. I think so Jagdish ji is not on the screen right now in his absence here. Ramesh ji, thank you very much for joining over here and actually appraising our attendees for this. Thank you very much. I also thank both the coordination, Mr. Baveja and Nirlap, for coordinating this session very well. Thank you very much, all of you.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Jaiswal, he has reached home and we can see him on the screen now. He's also here. It's Singapore. Yes.
Hello, Mr. Jaiswal. Thank you very much. We could see him on the screen.
You are on mute, sir. On mute, Jaiswal.
You have to unmute yourself, Jaiswal.
For all the kind words.
Thank you, Jaiswal. Thank you very much. It was quite enlightening, your journey from a trader to a large conglomerate in Singapore, especially in steel and trading industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us on the day second. Tomorrow, we are looking forward to day 3 when we have another entrepreneur like Mr. Jaiswal, who is based out of Dubai, Mr. CA Dinesh Kothari. And then we have 2 young entrepreneurs who also are chartered accountants who will be here with us tomorrow. So tomorrow will be another great day, and we all look forward to have you all here. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.